Welcome to Rebellion Road, a spectacular two-day road trip through the heart of Wales, exploring epic mountain landscapes, sublime coastal roads, and a selection of fascinating sights linked to this country's proud but often unruly history.
That's right, and we're here in Knighton at the start of the Glendower's Way long-distance footpath. Now, Owain Glendower was the last native-born Prince of Wales, so we're going to be following the path that's linked to his name through such sites as the first Welsh Senate in Machynlleth, castles linked to amazing and terrifying battles such as Carnarvon and Harlech, and explore the mountains of Eryri, Snowdonia, and taste some good Welsh produce along the way.
Well, that's it. Talking of Welsh produce, I think we need a slap-up breakfast to get us ready for this brilliant route. So let's saddle up and get some coffee and breakfast.
Yeah, let's go.
So we're at the Mad Hatter's Cafe in Knighton and we've got some cracking looking breakfast. I'm pretty jealous of your bat. Look at that.
Yeah, it's filled with all the good stuff.
So I've got a local sausage from a local farm. My bacon is literally from the butchers across the road, and I've even got local bread as well. I'm gonna get stuck in. I'm really hungry. Mate, what an absolutely epic ride that was. I think it's probably one of the best starts to a bike ride we've ever
That was
done.
brilliant. Hey, straight out of the gates from Knighton, just twisty roads, remote moorlands. How good was that?
It's just superb, and look where we are. You've got the pronunciation down better than I have.
So I think it's the Llyn Clywydog Reservoir.
Llyn Clywydog.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful,
Isn't it
isn't it?
gorgeous?
This is why it's probably my favourite place to ride in the UK, because within an hour we're met by incredible roads, magnificent landscapes, and a view like this. It's going to be a good day. So we're at Cadair Viewpoint, and Bill, if you look straight ahead, you can see Cadair Idris, which is Idris's throne. Now, Idris was a giant who also happens to be a poet and a philosopher, so a very cultured giant.
Very cultured.
And it's said at the bottom of Cadair Idris, where you'll find boulders, there are actually huge rocks that were shaken from the boot of Idris. Now, actually, Idris might have been a real-life character linked to King Arthur, because it's said that he was killed in a battle in 630 AD. How he managed to kill a giant, I don't know. Perhaps the giant's the myth and legend part. So, Bill, why are we walking in the middle of the road in mid-Wales?
Well, James, we're here on this road because it's about as close as we can get on the tarmac to Glendower's Way footpath, which is just in hills off to our left. And it's on these hills and in these mountains, Glendower raised an army of Welsh commoners and fought the English for independence. For about 6 years, he was hiding out in the hills, waging guerrilla warfare, conducting raids into England, and evading capture until he disappeared in 1415 without a trace.
It's very cool to think, isn't it, that these hills around us were used for guerrilla warfare.
Back on the bikes, we rode north to the ancient capital of Wales, Machynlleth. It was here we stopped for a coffee at the 15th century building where Owain Glendower called a parliament in 1404 after being proclaimed the Prince of Wales, and today it houses the Owain Glendower Centre.
From Machynlleth, we've travelled west along a fantastic coastal road which traced the edge of the River Dyfi, or the estuary, and we stopped at the beautiful seaside town of Abu Dhabi. And, well, when you're at the seaside,
There's only one thing to do.
you've got to have some chips. And this is just symptomatic of Wales. You know, we were up in the mountains on remote mountain passes earlier, an hour or two down the road. We're here, beautiful seaside town, bite to eat, and what a wonderful spot it is. From the seaside, we rode across country along a stunning collection of roads flanked by lakes and mountains, before arriving in darkness at our overnight stop, the Lake Vyrnwy Hotel. Great day,
Yeah,
great ride,
great accommodation.
great accommodation.
What could you
I
ask
think the last thing I need is
Yeah.
a pint and something to eat. The welcome was warm and the food was first class, with plenty of locally sourced options to choose from. But despite thoroughly enjoying our evening, nothing could have prepared us for the sight we were met with the next morning. Mate, what a beautiful spot. I think I've fallen in love with Lake Burnley.
Yeah, I could stay here all day just basking in the views there.
That is tempting, just to
Yeah.
sit, chill, grab some food, a couple of drinks, and just soak this up.
Make use of the spa as well.
Yeah.
I wish we had a bit more time to
Yeah.
to indulge in that.
Unfortunately, we got back a little late last night, later than we'd planned. So yeah, we didn't get to make use of the spa, but the rest of the hotel facilities are just, God, they're 5-star, aren't they? They're incredible, absolutely incredible. And then waking up to this is just, I don't think I've ever had such a beautiful view from a hotel room. I think this tops them all. We've had a fantastic breakfast. As much as I'd love to relax and indulge here for a few days at Lake Vyrnwy, it's time to move on.
It is indeed, and we've got a cracking day lined up ahead.
So reluctantly, I guess we've got to leave these leather chairs.
Yeah.
Just 5 more minutes.
Any regrets we had about leaving the hotel behind vanished within minutes as we found ourselves travelling through an awe-inspiring landscape, and we had it all to ourselves.
So we've stopped here in Barmouth, and behind me, Bill, check this out, is the magnificent Barmouth Bridge, the longest timber bridge in Wales. It's actually a railway bridge, stretches for 900 yards across the estuary. But the best news is motorcyclists are allowed to ride on it.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a permissive path by National Rail, so motorcyclists are allowed to ride across. There are quite a few pedestrians, so take it slow, be respectful, and yeah, enjoy a pretty cool ride.
Mate, I'm looking forward to this one. Oh, Bill, this is wicked! With big grins on our faces, we continued our journey along the Rebellion Road northwards to the first of 2 castles we'd be visiting that day. We've arrived at Harlech Castle, and what an impressive building it is. And there's so much of the castle remaining, despite the fact, well, it was built in 1289.
And it still stands proud atop the cliff overlooking the sea.
And the views over there are incredible. But we are here, well, to see the views, but also because we are on the Rebellion Road. And throughout this journey, we've been following the footsteps of Owain Glyndŵr. And Owain arrived here in Harlech a couple of years after he was proclaimed the Prince of Wales, laid siege to the castle, and he captured it and lived here for a good few years.
Yeah, he moved in, set up shop, and lived amongst the ruins that we're standing in now.
What a wonderful place to live until, well, he was kicked out by English troops in, is it 1409?
1409, that's correct.
But it's a fantastic place to come on the Rebellion Road. What a fascinating stop.
Heading further north, we arrived at Carnarvon Castle in the northwest of Wales, which is recognised as one of the greatest buildings of the Middle Ages. Located on the banks of the River Sion, this imposing structure was built as a show of strength by English King Edward I and took 47 years to construct. It was here we were shown around by Dilwyn, one of the most knowledgeable guides you could ever meet, who told us all about Owain Glyndŵr's connection to the castle.
But not for lack of trying, we attacked again in 1403 and 1404 under Owain Glyndŵr, but to no avail, really.
No.
But it was still attacked at that quite a late time. But it held, you know, it's a powerful castle, you simply couldn't get in. I can show you some of the defences that stop people getting in, if you like.
That'd be
There's a
fantastic.
fantastic set of defences here, which are quite unique. Have a look at this.
Once again, our route took us through the heart of Eryri, along yet more glorious roads. Wales was putting on a show, and we couldn't quite believe the scenery we were riding through. As the sun set on another glorious day, we headed to our accommodation for the night at Portmeirion Village. With the village in darkness, we decided to get some dinner and a well-earned beer. And yet again, the food was first class. By the time we'd locked up our bikes last night and got ourselves sorted, darkness had fallen, and we were told we weren't staying at the castle, we were actually staying at this beautiful building behind us, the hotel, which is down on the estuary. And boy, I needed a good night's sleep after a long but brilliant ride, and what a view to wake up to.
It's amazing, yeah, we found ourselves right down at the bottom of Portmeirion. The estuary stretches out before us and the village perched atop the hill, so I'm gonna go take a wander around. It's not open for visitors until 9:30, because we're staying here, we get to wander around before anyone else comes.
And that's one of the joys of staying at this hotel. You get it all to yourself first thing in the morning. Portmeirion was built by an architect called Sir Clough William Ellis, and it was his project between 1925 and 1975, and his mission was to show people that architecture could be fun, could be interesting, could be fanciful. And I think he genuinely succeeded. This place is incredible. Handily, the folks behind the village have created an app so you can scroll through it and it takes you on a tour building by building. And it's rather impressive, isn't it?
Well, I could genuinely spend a few days here at Portmeirion, just relaxing and soaking up the surreal, exotic and whimsical architecture and just looking out across the estuary behind me.
Sadly, this is the end of the Rebellion Road. Surreal and whimsical is the perfect description of this beautiful place. And I can't encourage you enough to go out and ride the Rebellion Road yourselves. Whether you're on a motorcycle, you're in the car, or you're putting the family in a camper van, it is an amazing road trip. We've stayed in beautiful locations, eaten incredible local food. We have ridden some epic roads through the mountains along the coast, but I think the thing I will take away with me the most from this trip is the warmth of the welcome from the Welsh people and their pride and interest in their history. It's been an incredible journey, Bill. I'm glad we've done it together.
Me too.
Until the next time.
Diolch Cymru.